What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Cracker Crumbs update. Today is, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so technically it is comic book day. My Midtown comic stuff got shipped today, which is pretty cool, so hopefully, end of the week, if I'm lucky, I'll get them. But a funny thing about Midtown is I went on there to take a look for the following week, because like I said, normally they have them up by now, sometimes it's after 10, but they must be having one hell of a glitch, because when I went to check for next week's, because usually they'll have, like I said, they'll have next week's stuff up. It said January, not January. It said the 16th, so, and I didn't know the one. It had a 1/16. It just said 16. I'm like, oh, hit it, and it comes up no record found. I'm like, all right, what the hell? I was like, why would it be the 16th of this month? I was like, that's in a couple of days. I was like, I don't think they're gonna have anything new come out in a couple of days. When I looked at it, when I actually paid attention to read the damn thing, it said January 2013. Is their next ordering thing, which is funny too because on the main page it says you can order the Avengers, the Midtown exclusive #1. It comes out in December, so I'm like, if that comes out in December, you can't order till January. So I hope it's a glitch. Hopefully it'll be cleared up later because with my luck, how it runs, I'll wind up missing everything from next week because you know what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to do a quick review on a couple comics real fast, and then I'm going to get into some stuff that I found out that I thought was kind of cool. I got a chance to read the Avenging Spider-Man Annual #1. It was good, but this had to have been one of the strangest books I've read in a long time. It just flat out messed up. It really is. Apparently, these two guys... well, basically, Spider-Man's trying to save money on web fluid and tries to take the train to the Bugle and gets snuffed by people on the train, throw him out. Then he starts riding the top of a bus, and people are screaming at him that he's riding for free. And then the Thing apparently is babysitting Reed Richards' kids, and they're having a party, and he's getting annoyed, and he's complaining that Spider-Man owes him $30 from their last poker game. And then these two guys in Central Park are digging around trying to find stuff because they think that they can find some alien tech or something. And they find something and they hit the button and it makes everyone argue with each other and stuff like that. It's just weird. It's just a weird book. Whatever. Moving on to X-Men Legacy #275, which is the final issue. This one was pretty cool in a roundabout sort of way. It kind of gives an insight on Rogue, which quite honestly I think I have. I'm not 100% sure. I really can't remember if I have the first one of this series. I probably don't. I don't even think I have like 1 or 2 issues of it. Never really got into it. I just didn't bother because money was tight. But it's kind of cool because Mimic is in this, and I love Mimic. I think Mimic's an awesome character, and they brought him. I have his first appearance, and then yeah, the debate of the first appearance. But it's kind of cool how he's an X-Man again and using this, but now he leaves. So I guess I got the issue that he leaves. What can I tell you? But it wasn't bad. It was basically there's a prison break, and Rogue and Mimic are the only 2 people that are around. Apparently everyone else is kind of off doing other things, and so they go to help. And there's a lot of talking. Like Rogue kind of basically talks about herself almost the entire thing. Like I broke up with Magneto, which I didn't even know she was dating Magneto. So that's how out of sync I am with comics lately. But anyway, broke up with Magneto, and she's talking about how she keeps her powers in check, which apparently now she doesn't fly. I guess she doesn't have Miss Marvel's powers anymore. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out what issue that was. And I'm gonna have to go back and go after these now. Great, but it was a good book. It was cool. It was very interesting. I liked it. Now moving on to some interesting rumors and facts and all sorts of fun things. But before we go into that, Hippies Collectibles actually made a good point about the lovely first appearance debate. Mary Jane, now there's another one that's one of those things where you're like, because she appeared on a cover before her first appearance in the book, so it's like kind of well, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to get into another debate I'm going to try to, I guess, start off on, but before I get into that, let me talk about some other things. Wrote them down. This is actually pretty cool. If obviously you're a comic book fan, that's why you watch this. If you go to Stan Lee's World of Heroes, they actually have this thing called Fan Wars, where it's set up like well, Judge Judy or People's Court more than anything. And the one I was watching was pretty funny. It was She-Hulk versus Wonder Woman. And there's like a person who represents She-Hulk, there's a person who represents Wonder Woman, and then Stan Lee comes up in the back of the courtroom and is saying, this is what the characters are about. And they have a judge, jury, everything, and it was pretty cool. It's fun to watch. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Now comes some rumors and some facts, which is kind of crazy. The Avengers. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but apparently in the Avengers, the second sequel, I did talk about this, but not the character itself. They're supposed to be having the Vision or a cameo or something with the Vision. And the crazy thing is, Vin Diesel apparently expressed interest that he wanted to play the Vision, and everyone was kind of like, "Oh, that'd be pretty cool." But now what they're doing, which I thought was actually pretty interesting, and it kind of fits in a roundabout sort of way, is Agent Coulson, who died in the Avengers movie, is coming back as the Vision. They're gonna make the robot body look kind of like him, I guess, and put his mind in the robot thing. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's interesting because the Vision. I mean, you think about it, he's an artificial, robot, intelligence, stuff like that. So you can pretty much make him anything you want. Because I know people are like, oh, it's not Agent Coulson. The Vision's something else. True, but again, you can pretty much do whatever you want because the later Vision, the second created Vision one, when he was recreated, would have had Wonder Man's bringing in there. So interesting. Apparently, MacGyver is getting a movie, and the director of Saw is going to direct it. Interesting. I guess because they figured the A-Team did well and might as well go for the other stuff. And last but not least on this, the rumor and fact kind of thing it's kind of a rumor, but it could be a fact too. Bryan Singer, obviously, he's directing the new X-Men one, which is they're claiming is the sequel to First Class, and they're making it the Days of Future Past storyline, which is cool. But the rumor / fact is that Bryan Singer now is claiming that technically it's a sequel to First Class, because that's what they're calling it. But he's saying that it's a sequel to X-Men 3, which, we all know didn't do all that well. Now, the rumor / fact thing is that they're going to keep it, not keep it separate, but they're going to kind of make two different versions of X-Men. Like, the Future Past one is going to come out, and then later on they're making a sequel, or whatever you want to call it, to the First Class, where it kind of continues that storyline, and this is getting confusing. And the Days of Future Past they'll have another one of that or something like that, whereas the continuing storyline of First Class will coexist with the newer X-Men, and then the Wolverine movie is supposed to get all the continuity together and make it make sense. So I don't know. That's what I'm reading, that they're going to make two different X-Men films that are going to kind of coexist with each other, but they're going to be separate but the same. I don't know. I got anything to make money, I guess. Now, moving on to the last thing I was going to say is one of my subscribers, and a friend of mine actually, the one subscriber who suggested this, which is funny because, like I said, a friend of mine actually suggested it too, which is pretty funny. Batzaro7983, if I get the name right. I can never get the damn number right. He was saying, there's a pretty cool debate on first appearances because, and he was read off a definition of a cameo, which was, oh man, I can't remember what he said. Damn. Should have wrote it down. Anyway, he knows what he said. Everyone knows the definition of cameo. But he said, can you start any other debates that would be just as cool? So I was thinking of something, then my friend Mike was asking me, he's like, yo man, he's like, what kind of debate you got? So here's my other debate that we might have fun with, or it might fuel who knows what. So you can talk amongst yourselves on this, but how does everyone out there feel about a character being on multiple teams? A perfect example, Wolverine. He's like in everything now. Do you feel it oversaturates the character where they're everywhere, like Wolverine? Like Wolverine, to me, he'll always be an X-Man, always, and they constantly change it. But then he was on X-Force, or he's still on X-Force, and he's an Avenger, Fantastic Four. You're just everywhere, and like for me when I was a kid, like I said, back in the 80s and 90s, Wolverine was strictly an X-Man. That was it. You never would see him go to anything else. And then when they put him on the Fantastic Four, everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's crazy! You can't. What are you doing?" But it was cool. Same thing with the Avengers. Like that, he's on the Avengers. It's interesting. Same thing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a member of the Fantastic Four on a number of times, and as well as he's an Avenger, which for me, a lot of people always say like, oh, well, Spider-Man's a loner, that's the way he is, which he's cool like that. But I actually do like him as an Avenger because he's funnier than when he plays off of the superheroes, like everyone else in the group. So I thought that was kind of cool. But how do you feel about it? Let's get a debate going on that, shall we? How do you feel about a character being on multiple teams or in multiple books, if you want to go that way? And that's about it. Yeah, I don't have any other real books. I didn't get anything new yet. And yeah, good times, good times. Have a fun debate. If you like what we see, please hit the like button. If you like what we see, hit the subscribe button. I want to thank all my subscribers. I'm gonna do a shout out video soon because not that I forget everybody. It's just I'm up to 117 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. But trying to remember everybody off the top of my head is crazy. I just can't do it. And there's so many people that I forget every time, and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm gonna do a shout out video, which will be everybody. I'm gonna go into in depth on your channels and talk about your stuff. So hopefully, anyone watching my channel will go see your channel from the description I'm gonna tell them. Anyway, again, it's not the size of your man cave; it's what you have inside that matters.